guys. I study A-level maths, further maths, physics and chemistry at St Brendan's, and I've got an offer from St John's College, Cambridge, to study physical natural sciences.
Hi, I'm Alex Warrant. I'm studying maths, further maths and physics at St Brendan's. I got an offer from Jesus College, Cambridge for studying maths as well.
Hi, I'm Juliette, and here at St Brendan's I study English literature, Tudor history and philosophy, and I've got an offer from Mansfield College at Oxford to study English literature.
For me, it was always Oxford and the prestige of Oxford, going through education thinking, wow, this is the pinnacle, this is kind of where you learn the best from the best. And then I've kind of had inspiration from teachers at St Brendan's. I've looked at courses at Cambridge and I switched to that. The main reason for Oxbridge as well was the tutorials, I think, and the more kind of one-to-one personal level you can get with top professors in your field.
To a summer school at Oxford, and it was just really inspiring in terms of I could see myself living in that city, and I realised I quite liked a more like traditional university with a tutorial system. And so after that, especially with all the help they gave about applications, I felt like it was more realistic. And when I was at the summer school, I did history, but I realised if you're going to apply there, you have to be really, really passionate about your subject. So that actually made me switch to English literature as well. When I was at the summer school, it was really good because they let you into the Bodleian library and they toured us and showed us these like amazing restricted access rooms where you have these 1,000-year-old books, and like if you're in English, you know, it's kind of like the dream.
I personally approached it the same as most of the other universities, with personal statement. I really didn't know what to write, and I think, like a lot of people, I was looking online, it was physics personal statements, and reading all the reviews and what tips can I get from anywhere. But in the end I learned for the personal statement in particular, the most important thing that they want to know is your passion for the subject.
For me, I spent quite a while looking up the interview because I was a bit nervous about that and wanted to know what was going to happen. But after looking on the website, they've got really good information on their websites about the process and what you're going to go through. And I found it quite easy to then feel relaxed and to go into the application. With my personal statement, I did the same thing. I was looking at other people thinking, oh God, they've got so much more than me. How am I going to show myself off? But you just got to write about you, and you have to pretend to be amazing. You just put yourself across, and hopefully that's what they'll see.
Yeah, I agree that I was quite stressed out about my personal statement, because I was like, what books do I mention? I don't like read a book every single week, but I realised it has to be really personal to you, and so if you show something individual about what you like, and which is quite unique to yourself, then that will impress them. And it will give you something to differentiate yourself in interviews. And the other thing I was quite stressed about was the admissions test, which you have to take for quite a lot of subjects. But the college were really useful with that.
I had support within the college. I think I had one or two of my friends give it a look over as well. Yeah.
I spoke to one of my math teachers about it to get what they thought about it, see if the math stuff that I talked about was relevant and if that was what sort of thing I should have in there, and they thought it was good. I spoke to my tutor as well, and she just took out one of the paragraphs that I didn't even need.
I had my philosophy teacher check it because you have to use really precise language in that, and she basically altered nearly every sentence and the grammar and everything, but that was really useful. And also having a teacher check it who is the top in the subject at the college. Who's the head of English, and so she was really useful in just making sure all the information relating to my subject was accurate.
I think the main help for me was our visit to Bath to practice interview questions, and it wasn't experts in the field, it was just people that are really experienced with interviewing and that kind of process, asking you questions, giving you critique. and feedback on kind of how you can improve?
For me, it was the personal statement with my tutor, and I did a practice interview with a math teacher, because for a math interview they didn't ask anything, they just get you to do some math questions.
For my interview you had to study some unseen poetry and analyse it, and that was something which was really daunting for me. But the head of English, every week we'd meet up and she'd gradually help me with it.
I had two individual interviews. Both had two professors each, one from physics, one from chemistry, and they both just wanted to ask me a question from their respective field. And there was nothing about why Cambridge, what do you love about it, what outside reading have you done?
Two interviews with two professors each one just had one maths question, and all they're looking for is how do you approach the problem, how you solve it, how you work it out. So the whole time they kind of expect you to talk through what you're doing, and even if you get it wrong, they're just interested in how you're thinking.
I had two interviews as well. I found them really intimidating actually, but the overall experience of going to interviews was really enjoyable because you met so many people and it was really relaxed and friendly. But in my interviews it was like what you said, that they do stretch you and try and find out about things you don't know so well, because I prepared a lot about the books in my personal statement, and instead they ended up asking me about Romeo and Juliette, which I read in year 9. So I was a very much panicked moment, but they're not really looking for completely correct answers. I made lots and lots of mistakes and looked back in horror afterwards, but it is true that you don't need to have everything perfect to actually get in, and all they're looking for is a potential. It was actually really lovely because you hear all these rumours about kind of typical stereotype of who goes to Oxford, and everyone I met was just so friendly and laid back, and we afterwards would just go around the city, and I think it's made me a lot more confident for actually going.
It was quite weird, just a letter randomly came through. You could see it was from Cambridge, and my mum was like, this letter from Cambridge, like, come and open it. She had to go to work though in 5 minutes, and she was like, I can't stay to see. So I opened it on my own. It wasn't as kind of as good as I would have thought. I would have had my mum been there, but she had to go. I opened it on my own. I was like, oh wow, like I actually got it. It was just surprising more than anything.
I got the letter and thought, this is quite heavy, surely this can't just seem them. So I opened it and I was like, oh, fair enough. And then it kind of sunk in later, like, wow, I actually got into Cambridge, that's like, I did it.
With me, I was being quite pessimistic before, and I was resigned to the fact that I hadn't got in. And so I saw an email from my college, and I thought, okay, I'm just going to open it, get it over with. And I went into the library, and when I opened the email, I saw it had an attachment about undergraduate funding, and I was like, that's a bit cruel for them to put that in a rejection. And so then when I clicked open the attachment and saw that I had actually got in, I was just so happy and really, really surprised as well.
I'd just say go for it. It's one of your 5 options, and if you're thinking of it in the first place, you've obviously got an aptitude and a want to learn that subject. So yeah, definitely just use it as one of your choices. You're bound to get into one of the other 4, surely.
Yeah, I say the same, go for it. You probably think, oh no, I'm not good enough, but if you probably don't think that, but you probably are. If you're thinking about going, you're worth a try.
Yeah, I'd say quite similar, but also to really develop your interest in the subject outside of class, because they won't be interested about what you did during your AS level, for instance. They'll be more interested in like what you read on the weekend, or so it is difficult sometimes finding time for that outside of class, but it is really important. And also that you don't have to be amazingly confident and good at everything to apply. It is just enough to be really passionate about your subject, and you're not going to lose anything